Part of setting a goal is finding a way to reach it.
Something is happening. Something extraordinary. And business will never be the same. Because UUNet is advancing the internet, growing our network 1,000% per year, adding thousands of miles of fiber and hundreds of thousands of new modem ports, helping millions do more, faster, better, making us the leading internet communications company, uniting the world of business. UUNet, a WorldCom company.
Just mix Velveeta and chili together. It's delicious. It's...
Birds use color to attract other birds.
The long goodbye, remembering Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer as Seinfeld signs off. I'm Jane Pauley, and this is Time and Again.
The following program is brought to you in living color. Ladies and gentlemen, a good evening to you.
This is Lowell Thomas in New York.
The Beatles emerged off the
And go, my fellow Americans.
I'm Chet Huntley, your host on...
We had 73 television cameras on May Day Girl.
President Nixon is actively...
One small step for man.
Hello and welcome to Time and Again. When is it impossible to have too much of nothing? Well, when the subject at hand is Seinfeld, the show that for 9 years has built an enormous following while claiming to be about nothing. It isn't, of course. Seinfeld is about the misadventures of 4 New York neurotics named Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer. You know them well. The show built its success by rising above the usual sitcom formula of predictable jokes and two-dimensional characters, instead finding genuine humor in the mundane details of everyday life. From the beginning, Jerry Seinfeld said he wanted to go out while he was still on top, and he wasn't joking. Now his show joins the pantheon of gone but not forgotten TV legends, including I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, MASH, and Cheers. On this episode of Time and Again, we linger a bit with Jerry and the gang by way of the NBC News archives. Let's begin with my own look behind the scenes at Seinfeld for Dateline in 1993. Jerry Seinfeld may or may not be master of his domain, but he's the undisputed master of the mundane.
I mean, I was looking at chicken of the sea tuna the other day in the supermarket thinking, what kind of a stupid name is that? What do they think? We don't know what a fish is? They got to tell us, well, it's like a chicken, see, but it's not really a chicken, of course. It's, why don't you think of it as a chicken in the sea, and then maybe you'll have some idea what we're selling here. I mean, what a really insulting name that is for tuna. Chicken of the sea? You know, chicken, I don't ask for tuna of the land.
That's Seinfeld humor. Funny little annoyances you'd never notice but recognize immediately. It's made his show the #1 adult comedy and his book a bestseller.
I never needed to be this successful. Never. I was just happy that I could do comedy and not work. In fact, that was the hardest thing for me to adjust to doing the series, is that I was going to work in the morning. And I wanted to scream to people, I'm not one of you, you know. I'm not just working. I really was embarrassed, because my whole life up to that point, me and my friends who were comedians, you know, we would hang out during the day. We used to go down, you know, like 6th Avenue and watch everybody come out to lunch, and just love to watch them. Go back to your buildings, you know. Lunch hour is over. We're staying out, you know. It was just playing hooky. It was prolonging youth.
It seems like everybody is playing hooky on the Seinfeld show. The thing people here do best is just hang out. In Jerry's apartment, in the diner, back at Jerry's apartment again. In Jerry's world, life is what happens when you're doing nothing.
All right, Ma, I'll talk to you later. Nothing. I'm watching Tiny Toons here on Nickelodeon.
The Seinfeld show is life at its most ordinary. No wonder the show gets unsolicited scripts by the dozens every week. The storylines are so thin sometimes they're hard to find at all.
I remember in our first season we did a story where it was really just Elaine, Jerry, and George waiting for a table at a Chinese restaurant. And they said, there's no story.
Well, how do you promote that?
How do you fill that? What do you say? How do you do? What, 3 people waiting?
I don't see any way we can eat and make this movie.
Oh, well, I have to eat.
Well, let's just order it to go. We'll eat it in the cab.
Eat it in the cab? Chinese food in a cab?
We'll eat it in the movie.
What? Where do you think you're going? You think that they have big picnic tables there?
But certain subjects are a little more difficult to deal with than others. And I don't, try not to shy away from something that might be hard to handle. And sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't.
My mother caught me.
Caught you? Doing what?
You know. I was alone.
You mean? In fact, in the show, correct me if I'm wrong, you never use
That's correct.
the word.
That's correct. We never use that word, which is part of the reason it worked.
All right, I'll tell you this, though. I am never doing that again.
What? You mean in your mother's house or all together?
All together.
Oh, give me a break.
Right.
Well, you don't think I can?
No chance.
You think you could?
Well, I know I could hold out longer than you.
Care to make it interesting?
Sure, how much?
$100?
You're on.
Wait a second. Count me in on this.
You? Yeah. You'll be out before we get the check.
This now legendary episode, called The Contest, was written by Seinfeld co-producer Larry David. Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld are the brain trust behind the show. Old friends who like to make everything a contest, even the shoes they wear. Case in point, Jerry wore new shoes to our interview. Not his trademark sneakers, but actual shoes.
Like when I come in tomorrow morning, we're going to discuss these shoes for 20 minutes.
He's confident these shoes will get Larry's attention. They did.
You think those are better than mine?
I can't have this conversation.
You like those better?
I think kind of fits your
The
foot.
contour was better.
The contour.
Yeah.
Like me, you may wonder, what's the game here?
The sport of it is to get it first, To out-order the other person in the restaurant, to get the better thing. That's the true contest of life.
The cast makes ritual sport of dinner once a week at a restaurant that's the real-life equivalent of the diner on the show.
I find myself going to the diner with these guys and ordering heart-stopping meals that I know are going to take years off my life just to one-up them. I don't know where this comes from. We don't fight duels anymore, so we just order kick.
Have you, in fact, won such a competition?
I have floored them on occasions. Yeah.
With what kind of a
Well,
dish?
when you start ordering fries with gravy and pastrami/roast beef club sandwiches at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's pretty daunting.
If you ordered something that sounded good, Jerry, I wouldn't hesitate to say me too.
Oh, but then that's an automatic forfeit. If you imitate if you get what I ordered, then that's an automatic forfeit because I'm the one that discovered it on the menu. Your only chance to beat me is to find something better.
Is everything a competition?
If you want to have fun, it is.
How come I didn't get a Christmas card? Everybody else got one. Jerry got one. Kramer got one. I thought we were good friends. I don't get a Christmas card. I don't get it.
You want a Christmas card? You want a Christmas card? All right, here. Here's your Christmas card.
We'll have the rest of my 1993 look at the Seinfeld phenomenon, including the building of Team Seinfeld, how Jerry cast the roles of George, Elaine, and Kramer.
Lee Thompson, she's one tough consumer reporter fighting for your rights.
I see myself as a watchdog.
Pounding the consumer beat for Dateline NBC.
I'm trying to keep people from getting ripped off.
Going undercover.
We've changed some laws. We've sent some people to jail.
Exposing scams.
Sometimes you have a chance to make a difference.
And digging for the truth.
And at Dateline, it happens quite a lot.
Lee Thompson.
I've got one of the greatest jobs in the world.
Your consumer ally on Dateline NBC.
I like very much being able to find a book for certain and to order it very quickly without standing in a line and without any hassle.
It's the first website that I've ever seen that I looked at and I went, this is what the web should be.
The more books you order from Amazon.com, the more they get to know you and they make personal recommendations.
It's not scary, and it's very, very fast.
Amazon.com discounts so many books that even with the shipping, you end up saving money.
It's fun, it's vast, it piques my interest.
Never thought I'd own a Lexus while my kids were still young. We have the quality and the style of a Lexus without any more money. Financing was fantastic.
You're getting a luxury car for the price of other new cars. Certified pre-owned Lexus vehicles are available with exceptional financing.
Something that I never thought I could afford, but there it is. Real life.
This was my first time financing a car, and I really got a good deal.
Owning a Lexus is closer than you think. Only at your Lexus dealer.
It's a dirty car, but somebody has to wash it. Now clean your car so fast, it's like magic with the amazing new Shams Emmy, the water-powered miracle car wash system. Just attach to any hose, add detergent, then power spin your car clean. Soft, brushless Shams Emmy will never scratch your finish. Yet it scrubs away deep down dirt as it angles across the contours of your car. Shams Emmy's patented design power floats the dirt away. Add car wax for that showroom shine. Use the power brush head to tackle tires, hubcaps, tar, insects, and grease. Power wash outdoor furniture quickly and easily. Shams Emmy's extensions reach gutters and leaders, windows, the roof of the van, even aluminum siding. Shams Emmy comes with brushless swivel head, rotating power brush, and 2 extensions, all for only $19.95.
To order your Shams Emmy, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-537-9300 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling to Shams Emmy, 809 Stewart Lane, Brentwood, Tennessee.
The first episode of Seinfeld was called The Seinfeld Chronicles. It aired as a pilot on July 5th, 1989, minus Elaine. 4 more episodes aired the following summer, and in January 1991, the show got a shot as a mid-season replacement. It began a run that would not stop for another 7 years. I looked in on Seinfeld in 1993, near the midpoint of the show's long march.
Now in their 5th season, the cast has found a groove on and off screen. Their chemistry is no accident. Jason Alexander, Michael Richards, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus were handpicked by Jerry Seinfeld.
I responded to them on a personal level. I like these people, so the chances of them liking each other and liking me were higher than if some casting agent just goes, well, they're the best actor, I want a blonde, and we need a tall guy, you know? You put them together, and it's not going to work, you know, or it might, but because I kind of picked them the way I would pick my friends.
Let me just call Kramer, see if he wants anything. Hey, we're ordering Chinese food. If you want anything, let me know what it is, and I'll order it for you.
These are my buddies. I know whenever I go into Jerry's apartment, I'm going to get involved in something. And involvement means living.
You burst onto the scene.
I come right into life.
Kramer is the guy that is your friend by virtue of his proximity. There are a lot of people that are friends because they're nearby, you know? And it's nice to have somebody around.
George Costanza has been described as Lord of the Losers.
I mean, in any other show, my character would have cut his own throat by this point.
How many jobs have you gone through?
Quite a few, at least a dozen.
And women?
Oh, hundreds.
$8? $8?
What are you doing? You're robbing me?
I wasted my whole morning on you for $8?
Wait a second, what are you doing?
I'm taking your clothes.
No, that's my only suit. It cost me $350. I got it at Mo Ginsburg.
Bye, George.
Wait, you can't just leave me here. Will I see you again?
The shortest lifespan for an actress is to be a guest star on a Seinfeld show. You know you've got 1 episode and you're gone because relationships just do not work here.
You faked with me?
Yeah.
You faked with me?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
You faked it.
I faked it.
That whole thing, the whole production, it was all an act.
Not bad, huh?
What about the breathing, the panting, the moaning, the screaming?
Fake.
Elaine is the girl Jerry broke up with, but couldn't part with.
I don't know what she's doing hanging out with these people, these 3 guys. I mean that. I mean, they are, Kramer, Seinfeld, Costanza. What's going on?
I think I'll get going.
Stick around a while.
It's early.
We'll order Chinese.
I think if she really had it together, yeah, she would move on and get into a different social scene. But for some reason, she's held up.
Jerry's character isn't making much progress in relationships either.
And to think how close I came to you being the one. I must have been out of my mind.
I mean, every week you want to see that woman get up and go, no, I won't, and, you know, and storm out of the apartment. I mean, that's the whole fun of the show.
I can't believe you said that.
What?
How could you say something like that to me?
What? You were the one who was talking dirty. I was just trying to keep up.
We have huge laughs about it, you know. The number of shots of me standing looking down that hallway going, what? What did I say?
In real life, Jerry Seinfeld has a significant relationship going, though it's not what you may be thinking.
The main relationship in my life is with the audience. That's the love affair that has kept me going all this time. It's very intense, you know, when people laugh at something you like and they agree with you. There's a moment there that's truly romantic.
How long do you expect to be doing this?
The show? Or, a little while longer, not too much, as long as it's...
Why do you say that?
Because it's like an act. It has a flow, a peak, and a time, and I always get off early. It's better. I don't like restaurants that serve a lot of food, you know? When people tell me the portions are tremendous, that doesn't appeal to me, you know? Sheer volume is not attractive to me. And same goes for the number of episodes that we do. I want to do enough shows that people could say, you know, every one was good.
But then what?
Oh.
The abyss.
Nah. What? Well, this is not my job. Anyway, I'm a comedian, you know. This is just something I was fortunate enough to get to do. My job is to write jokes, go to Milwaukee, and tell them. That's what I do.
When we come back, Seinfeld before Seinfeld. Jerry talks about his job as a comedian with NBC's Bob Costas in 1988.
They're sworn to keep the president safe. Should they protect his secrets too? The Secret Service. On The Big Show with Keith Olbermann, tonight at 8 Eastern on MSNBC.
It's the transportation system of the next millennium, moving the goods that move our economy. An advanced computer network will track every shipment. Experienced engineers will oversee each mission. But perhaps the most remarkable feature of this system of tomorrow is that it's here, today. Norfolk Southern, the future of transportation, is the thoroughbred of transportation.
The Lexus warranty on my certified pre-owned car was the deciding factor for me. I make jokes to my son that when he's ready, he can have this car, and I'm sure it'll still be running by then.
Now introducing the Lexus of warranties.
I've done the research, and it's the best warranty in the industry.
Every certified pre-owned Lexus comes with an incredible 3-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
They're standing behind you. The warranty is just absolutely great.
Owning the Lexus is closer than you think. Only at your Lexus dealer.
You're looking at someone who just bought a house without a down payment. How? He called 1-800-71-FIXED for the Ditech 125 Dream Loan. With your good credit, you too can finance up to $500,000 with no down payment. Even better is the extra cash for new furniture, to pay off bills, or whatever else is on your list. Now you can buy that house without a down payment. Call 1-800-71-FIXED for the 125 Dream Loan today.
There are those in life who watch and those who do. Anna is a doer. Thanks to Advil. It works fast, right at the site of arthritis pain. For all kinds of pain, Advil simply lets people do what they love to do.
That great new printer you bought has a part missing. The paper. Get Hammermill Laser Print, the paper that works.
When you were a little kid, somebody told me, they didn't tell me this when you were a little kid, they told me this about when you were a little kid, that you actually used to sit in front of the television set watching Sullivan or Red Skelton or something, take notes?
Yes, I would. I would keep down all the jokes, because the next day in school, in study hall, when people were talking about, you know, the show last night, I wanted to have the jokes there.
Jerry Seinfeld, the stand-up comic with NBC's Bob Costas in 1988. 1 year before Seinfeld, the sitcom first went on the air. Like any comic, Seinfeld found humor in the minor agonies of childhood.
What would have enraged your father more? If he had walked into the den and found you in a state of undress with your girlfriend, or if you fiddled with the thermostat?
Oh, there was nothing worse than touching the thermostat. That was the secret area of dad control. never go near it. I didn't even know what it was till I was, you know, got my own apartment. I was still afraid to touch it in hotel rooms. I was afraid he would come in and go, who touched the thermostat in here? I set it there for a reason. That was Dad's, the reason. You know. Dads just pick areas that they're going to be in charge of. The trunk of the car is a dad area for some reason that if you just go near it, they just, you know, you try and, Dad, where does this stuff go? Just set it down there. It goes in some special way that only I understand. It was taught to me by aliens from another galaxy, you know.
You don't work dirty at all, right?
No.
Why not?
It just doesn't have anything to do with me. You know what I mean? It's like, singers like have to find the right songs that fit their voice. And comedians kind of have to find the right jokes to fit their sense of humor. And those kind of jokes just don't seem to fit me. It doesn't really bother me. I like, you know, Sam Kinison and Eddie Murphy are like some of my favorite comedians. I think they're great. It just doesn't work for me.
How does stuff come to you?
It just comes there, you know. It's like nobody ever asks you where bad ideas come from. You know what I mean? They come from the same place. Bad ideas, good ideas, you just get ideas, you know. You know, like Tide detergent, you know, gets out blood stains. You know, it's just a matter of stopping at a moment like that and going, you know, if you got a T-shirt with blood stains all over it, maybe laundry isn't your biggest problem, you know? Maybe you ought to get that harpoon out of your chest before you do the housework.
That was 1988. Seinfeld was back with Bob Costas 2 years later. It was May 1990. Seinfeld, the sitcom, was about to go on the air, but NBC had committed to just 4 episodes. Jerry's focus was on his work as a stand-up comic.
Letterman called you the most imitated comic working today.
What do you want me to do?
Think it's maybe true?
I don't know. I'm not aware of it. Everybody, comedians, when they're starting out, they always imitate people. And then if you're any good, that has to fall away and you have to find a voice.
Who did you copy?
I copied Carlin, Robert Klein, Jay Leno. I actually copied Larry David, the guy who I wrote with on the show. I copied him. You can't resist it. When you're on stage, a comedian is a scared animal. You know, you ever catch a deer in the headlights? That's what a comic feels like inside. I mean, it's a fairly, you know, desperate situation in the beginning when you don't know what you're doing. And you'll grab at things. You know, you'll pick up just sounds and do them.
But eventually it gets to a point where you know there's certain stuff that can't fail.
No, no such thing as can't fail in comedy. Any comedian can fail at any time. It's, you have to like that. You have, because it's scary, a little bit, every time, and you have to kind of like it.
Is it possible to be on tour, and let's say you're in Kansas City one night, and you present a joke, or a series of jokes that kind of blend together exactly the same way in Kansas City as you do the next night in Dallas, and it works big in KC, and in Dallas nobody laughs?
No, you screwed it up. You think that in your mind. You think, I did the joke, this is a great joke, it always works. It's them, you know, but it's never them. An audience is a perfect response meter, and that's why comedians get angry, because they deep down know that, and they know they screwed it up. It's incredible how little it takes to screw up a joke. It's incredible. It's the same idea, the same words, the same, everything is the same. But if I just say, it's not funny at all. I don't understand that.
How does a comic work up his act? How many times, when you see a guy come out, let's say for his first shot on a Letterman show, his first shot on the Tonight Show, you say to yourself, this guy must have done this in front of a mirror 100 times.
No, mirrors don't laugh. You got to do it in front of an audience. A good stand-up is not doing a monologue, he's doing a dialogue. And the laughs fit into the pauses just right. That's what timing is balancing your response and their response so that it has it sounds like a dialogue. And audiences respond when they sense that you're listening to them.
Jerry Seinfeld in 1990. Still to come, Seinfeld the sitcom takes off. We'll hear all about it from Jerry, Jason Alexander, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus when Time and Again continues.
The news with Brian Williams.
The stories and people making headlines.
And the best of NBC News on MSNBC.
Weeknights at 9 Eastern on MSNBC.
I wanted something that was really fast. I'm talking hypervelocity. I play a lot of games. The graphics defy physical reality. I'm like, you mean I get to build my own computer? And they're like, yeah, that's how we do it. I'm like, sweet.
When you call 1-800-GATEWAY, we'll build a gateway computer just for you. We turbocharged Alex's PC with an Intel 400 megahertz Pentium 2 processor, their fastest one, for a great price. Whoa. Want us to build you a rocket? Call us and let's talk about your gateway.
Once upon a time, there was a printer that thought it was a copier. It was fast, 32 pages a minute. This printer collated, sorted, and stapled like a copier. Even had a name worthy of a copier. And starting at just $2,900, it made all the other printers very, very sad. That's the story of the Xerox DocuPrint N32, the printer that thinks it's a copier. For your local reseller, call 1-800-34-XEROX.
You can feel it start to burn all through here. All you can think about is getting rid of it quickly. I even tried Zantac 75, but it didn't work fast enough. Finally, I asked my doctor, and my doctor said Mylanta. Fast-acting Mylanta was made to work fast, where heartburn hurts most. Soothing, on contact. It's so fast. My doctor said Mylanta.
And if you suffer from gas, there's a Mylanta just for you. Mylanta Gas.
He's worked almost 40 years. She's worked almost 40 years. And during that time, they've gone on walks together instead of cruises, and shared secrets together instead of champagne, just so that someday they could retire and be together all the time. At Cigna, we care about the retirement dreams of over 5 million people. After all, there are dreams too. Cigna, a business of caring.
Want to get an accurate forecast instantly? MSNBC.com puts the best weather information on the net at your command. MSNBC, when you really want to know.
This is NBC News at this hour.
Hello, I'm John Snyder. In the news at this hour, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met for about 3 hours with Secretary of State Madeleine Albright about the Mideast peace process. The talks ended shortly after 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Both sides indicated there was no progress, although lower-level staffers will continue to talk. The meeting came after at least 4 Palestinians demonstrating against Israel were killed in clashes with Israeli troops. Each side blames the other for the violence. The United States is warning American travelers to avoid Indonesia. The country is racked by violence as anti-government protesters take to the streets. The U.S. is also evacuating all non-essential government employees there. The Indonesian President Suharto is back home after cutting short a foreign trip. U.S. officials are in Pakistan in an effort to convince India's arch-rival not to conduct nuclear weapons testing. This afternoon, State Department spokesman James Rubin defended his department against criticism that officials should have known about the tests in advance.
We had in recent weeks and months 20 very high-level contacts with the Indian government in which we made clear the consequences of a failure to have restraint, and frankly they engaged in a campaign of duplicity.
The U.S. has imposed sanctions that the White House says could cost India as much as $20 billion. Microsoft agreed to delay today's planned shipment of Windows 98 to computer makers until Monday. The temporary reprieve will allow the Justice Department in 20 states to pursue a negotiated settlement with Microsoft over antitrust issues. MSNBC is a joint venture of Microsoft and NBC. A federal judge in Idaho has dismissed voluntary manslaughter charges against an FBI sharpshooter. The judge ruled that Lon Hiriochi was honestly discharging his duties during the 1992 siege at Ruby Ridge. Hiriochi shot and killed the wife of white separatist Randy Weaver during that standoff. It was a rare look at the legal battles surrounding the investigation of the president. Independent counsel Kenneth Starr told a federal judge today Secret Service agents should be compelled to testify about what they know of the relationship between the president and Monica Lewinsky. But the Justice Department argues that forcing agents to testify would compromise future presidents' safety by making them uncomfortable around their protectors. President Clinton's personal secretary, Betty Curry, will have to return sometime in the future before Kenneth Starr's grand jury investigating the president. She made her 4th appearance before Starr's grand jury today. Starr presumably wants to find out what Curry may know about Monica Lewinsky's relationship with President Clinton. Those are the top stories making news at this hour. From NBC News and MSNBC, I'm John Snyder. Time and Again on Seinfeld continues in a moment.
Where can you explore the Titanic, see White House scandals you may have missed, and sit down with the Fab Four? On Time and Again's website, in the on-air section of MSNBC.com.
What could you do with an MBNA Platinum Plus MasterCard with no annual fee and a low APR? 2 season tickets to the opera, $950. A velvet wrap, $170. Opera glasses, $82. 9 guaranteed dates with your husband? Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's the MBNA Platinum Plus MasterCard. Call 1-800-543-6472 and request your credit card now. We're offering a low 4.9% introductory APR with no annual fee. You'll enjoy a credit line up to $100,000, plus an array of outstanding benefits and exceptional service. All this with a low 4.9% introductory APR. Don't miss this special opportunity. Call now, 1-800-543-6472 and request the MBNA Platinum Plus MasterCard, the new standard.
Welcome back to Time and Again as we spend some time with the Seinfeld gang over the years by way of the NBC News archives. The show's success made Jerry Seinfeld the hottest thing on television, but it took some doing. The 1989 pilot got a lukewarm reception. NBC finally ordered just 4 episodes. They ran in May and June 1990. The following January, Seinfeld was back on the air to stay for the next 7 years. NBC's Bob Costas spoke with Jerry Seinfeld about his growing stardom in February 1991.
Do you wonder what people are thinking about you, especially now, where you're either completely recognizable, someone says, hey, there's Jerry Seinfeld, or at the very least they're giving it, where do I know you from? And sometimes they almost stalk you.
Well, a lot of times I go up to people and I say, when I see them looking at it, didn't we go to school together? I try and throw them off and see if they can figure it out, you know. Didn't we have a job together somewhere? Didn't you work at the same desk that I had?
If you bump into somebody like that, do you sense sometimes that they try to be funny? They feel obligated. Hey, here's a guy who makes me laugh. He doesn't know me from Adam, but I better be funny.
I know. I don't understand that. Why do people want to be funny? I mean, I don't try and be funny, and I really don't. It's just when I'm on stage, you know, I'm funny. But if I think of something funny, I say something funny. But people, when they meet a comedian, they want you to go, you know something? You have really got it.
You are one funny guy.
You shouldn't be driving this bus. You should be a comedian. You've really got something special. Or else they want to give you some horrible joke. I don't know why people want to give comedians, but jokes, you know? 18 naked lizards or crawling, you know, it's just some horrible thing. And they said, you can use that.
People who claim...
Use it if you want.
That was 1991. 2 years later, Jerry was back with Bob Costas, and by then, Seinfeld was a hit. Costas asked Jerry if that success had affected his stand-up act.
Do you feel you still get a true reading every time now, or is the fact that you've become so popular and so well-known something that gives you a leg up?
I get 5 free minutes now. That's what I get. And then I'm on my own. Nobody can laugh because they liked what they saw you do on TV a week ago. Because laughter is an involuntary response. At first, there's an excitement level when the person comes out, you know, and people like to see that. But after that, it settles down. That's the great leveler of comedy. And that's one of the reasons I like to do it, is because the audience will slap you down very quickly if you think you're bigger than the bit.
Are there people who are funny in clubs who for some reason can't be funny on television? Now, the obvious reason is if somebody works dirty. That's different. But is there something about TV that some people do or don't translate comedically?
Yeah. See, when you're on TV, you're crossing 2 airspaces, you know, from the performance to the camera, and then from the screen to the couch. When you're in a club, you just got that 1 airspace, you know, and you can manipulate, you can, what we call muscle a joke with a certain kind of energy. And you may not really have the joke, but you can push people into laughing. You can actually, it's more crowd control than comedy. But on TV, it's very hard to get away with that. And TV tends to distill you down to what the real essence of what you're saying and how funny you really are. And it picks up little things. Clubs, big things work. On TV, little things work. But to me, the density of the medium that you have to go through, these two air spaces, really hurts a lot of people that depend on energy, certain type of energy.
What's the worst moment you ever had?
In stand-up?
Yeah, maybe your rhythm was off.
It's at the Raleigh
you drew a blank.
Hotel. I had a room that was so small, Bob. No.
In Raleigh, North Carolina?
No, in the Catskills. And a guy there saw me in the club in New York, and he thought I was good. I was in comedy 1 year. And booked me to work in the main room. I was 22 years old. I didn't have anything but like G.I. Joe and like 40 minutes on Superman. And there was a lot of old people there, and I walked out. I wore a suit that I had bought for $60, a blue corduroy suit with 2 pair of pants. I mean, and I must have looked like a 3-year-old coming out there, and they were looking at me, and I really went down the tubes. And the agent, I mean, nothing. And it was a big room. I was terrified to begin with. I had never played in, you know, the clubs I had always been on in front of 20 people, 50 people. I hadn't even been playing on the weekends. So this was a big room, like 1,000 people, and I went out there, and I was terrified, and I died terribly. And the guy said to me, "You may be in for a very rough career." And I believed it.
So
and
something supportive to pick you up in your moment of need.
Right. And I was sitting there in the dressing room, and I was so upset, and I just, you know, you don't know what you're doing at that stage. When the thing that makes comedy easy as you continue is you know why you're not doing well. When you don't know why, it's very scary, you know. When you know why, it's not so scary. But anyway, he told me, "You may be in for a very rough career." And I couldn't even stay in the hotel. I had to get out of there. And I drove home in the middle of the night. It was like a 3-hour drive. And I was on the edge then. And I talked to George Schultz, who ran a club in Brooklyn called Pips. And he was a famous comedy maven through the 50s. He discovered Brenner and Rodney and Klein and all these guys, and really helped a lot of comedians. And I called him up and told him what happened. And he said, "If you do well up there, you have no act. If those people like you, you'll never make it." Because it was such a specific group, you know. And, but that was one of the lowest moments I had.
Jerry survived that low point, of course. We'll hear more from him later. But when we continue, the only female member of the Seinfeld Fab Four, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
They're sworn to keep the president safe. Should they protect his secrets too? The Secret Service. On The Big Show with Keith Olbermann, next on MSNBC. Log on to MSNBCSports.com and experience NBA Showtime Online, a behind-the-scenes look at your favorite team's journey to the 1998 NBA Finals. Go online daily for Bill Walton's game previews. Then check out John Sally's inside look at the key players. MSNBCSports.com, the official site of NBC Sports.
It's not the size that defines our customers, it's success. To learn more about SAP and a better return on information, visit our website at www.sap.com.
What's the matter, honey?
We'll never pay off these credit cards.
What about a home equity loan?
The bank said we have no equity.
Well, George and Lisa next door got a loan from Ditech Funding.
With no equity?
Well, Ditech let them borrow up to 125% of their home's value. They were able to pay off their credit card bills, lower their monthly payments, and the interest was tax deductible.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Gee, honey, Ditech sure solved our problem.
You mean problems?
The no equity home loan from Ditech Funding. Call 1-800-71-FIXED.
To the Isuzu Go Farther Getaway event and get a great deal on a 98 Trooper, Rodeo, or Amigo. Offer ends May 31st.
Just because a glass and surface cleaner is blue like Windex doesn't mean it cleans glass as well as Windex, because only Windex is specially formulated with ammonia D. It leaves a beautiful streak-free shine. Just about anyone can appreciate. Windex, the best on glass from S.C. Johnson Wax.
It's not the size that defines our customers, it's success. To learn more about SAP and a better return on information, visit our website at www.sap.com.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus was around before Seinfeld came along on Saturday Night Live in the early 80s and making her movie debut in the 1986 Woody Allen film Hannah and Her Sisters. But with Seinfeld, Julia Louis-Dreyfus became Elaine Bennis. She talked about it with NBC's Bob Costas in 1992.
This role of Elaine, Jerry's ex-girlfriend on Seinfeld, a great role. And the show is so well written, up and down.
Yeah, it is a fabulous role. I feel so grateful to be a part of this.
She's Jerry's ex-girlfriend, so unlike a lot of shows that start out with a platonic relationship, there isn't that will they or won't they tension, which sometimes makes for good shows and other times gets unwieldy as they try and work around it.
Yeah, I think it works to be ex like that because, first of all, it's not too derivative of anything else.
Yeah.
And everybody does that now, will they or won't they? And I think to have them together, you know, we did this one episode where we did get back together again, and it was sort of left open-ended. And subsequently, everyone decided it was better for us to be apart because what's so funny about a couple getting along, you know? Really nothing.
Plus, of course, he still feels some connection to her.
There's something going on, but it's sort of not defined, and I like it that way. I think it's better.
So when Keith Hernandez hits on her, he doesn't like it, even though he tries to put up a brave front. He's not thrilled.
Right, but we're still not entirely sure why he's not thrilled. I liked that episode because it was, you know, that episode was also about making a male friend, and there were many layers to that. I liked it.
It was an hour-long special episode.
Yeah.
And I hope you folks saw it because it was one of my favorites. Keith Hernandez plays himself, and he bumps into George, the character played by Jason Alexander, and Jerry at a health club, and Keith and Jerry kind of buddy up, and he's soliciting your advice the way somebody normally would if they were dating a member of the opposite sex about how fast this relationship should proceed.
Right. He hasn't called. Should I call? All that kind of stuff. It's like I said when we were rehearsing that one scene where he's asking me for advice as to how to go forth with Keith Hernandez, I said we should have shot this scene in a beauty parlor. We both be in hair dryers, getting our nails done. Just go ahead and call him.
Well, I can't call here. It's a coffee shop. I mean, what am I going to say to him?
Just ask if he wants to get together.
For what, dinner?
Dinner's good.
Don't you think that's coming on a little too strong? Isn't that like a turn-off?
Jerry, he's a guy.
This is all very confusing.
I read a New York Magazine article where Larry David said, people don't realize because Jerry is so genial and comfortable to watch that the show is really a darker show, at least in intent, than people might think. You agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I think the show is so black. And I think, in fact, we were laughing about it we just finished shooting last week, or this season, and we were laughing about this cast of characters, this is the most pathetic group of people on the show. Really, if you step back from the jokes and the ha-ha on the television show, every week the most horrifying things are happening, and they treat each other, really, you would never treat a friend like this, the way they talk to one another and scramble to cover lies, and it's, I did a scene, in fact, in the show, where I'm dating an older man. I don't know if you saw this show, but I'm dating an older guy, much older, like, say, in his 60s, and he collapses when we go out to lunch, and I bring him to Jerry's apartment, and we try to revive him in a really, it was a pathetic attempt to revive him. we really almost kill him. And the paramedics take him away, and he's had a stroke or something, although it's actually never really said what he's had. But you cut to us at his apartment, and I'm feeding him Yankee bean soup. And he has no language, none. And he's shaking and in a wheelchair, okay? And he's twice my age. And he has no language, and I break up with him.
Don't get me wrong. I like coming here and feeding you and cleaning a little and paying your bills. I mean, that's good stuff. Good stuff. I have a wonderful time when I'm with you. Wonderful. But at this point in my life, I'm not really sure that I'm ready to make a commitment to one person. I'm just not really sure that we have enough in common.
It really is a very sad, sad group of people, I think. I mean, I often wonder why we all... I wonder how to justify all of our characters hanging out together. You know, we're also... I don't know, it's always a disaster, one episode after another.
A sad group of people, 4 characters hanging out together for one disaster after another, with, we should add, millions of loyal followers. We'll be back with George, Seinfeld co-star Jason Alexander, when Time and Again continues.
Is it only the uniformed agents they're talking about? Why not just ask them if they witnessed any crimes, and if they have, let them report on that and then be done with it.
Weekday mornings on MSNBC. Stories that move you. Reports that matter.
Bank Examiner's Unit?
They were conned.
Weekend Magazine with Stone Phillips on MSNBC.
It wasn't much of a gift shop. It wasn't much of a fire. It was pretty much everything to Joe and Linda. It was gone pretty fast. A small, bright dot in the night sky, then nothing. And by now, someone may be watching this and saying, not unkindly, but still saying it, who cares? So we just wanted to say, well, there's Joe, there's Linda, and there's us. Cigna, a business of caring.
Sure, I'd like to be financially prepared for whatever might be coming down the road. But I'd also like to be prepared to build a house someday, right here.
Schwab's Mutual Fund OneSource gives you access to hundreds of no-load funds. And our valuable tools can help you build your portfolio. Call now for our free select list.
Because anything you can dream of doing later, you can begin planning now.
The Home Depot, your source for expert home improvement advice. The problem: your house didn't come with a set of instructions. The result? Wasted time, money, and energy. The Home Depot solution. Introducing Home Improvement 123, the best-selling, easy-to-follow how-to guidebook from the experts at Home Depot. With over 450 pages of indispensable advice, Home Improvement 123 is different from other books because it's based on some of the most commonly asked questions from customers around the country, and answers are from an advisory board made up of some of Home Depot's most experienced employees.
It is so nicely laid out.
It makes any difficult project a piece of cake.
It's the how-to book that saves you time and money by giving you the information, skills, and confidence you need to do it right from the start.
To order Home Improvement 123, get your Home Depot or other major credit card ready and call 1-800-795-5005. That's 1-800-795-5005. Or send check or money order to the address on your screen. Call now.
Jason Alexander is here. He is, of course, George Costanza on the Seinfeld show. Now, it always seems easy to say through the rearview mirror, hey, this guy's a natural. He's the only guy that could do it. But when it was first presented to you, did you grab it, or were you kind of...
Yeah, when George was presented, I grabbed it. I wasn't particularly looking to do more television. I had a moderate experience on television. And I was very happy being a New York stage actor. But I read this pilot, and I laughed out loud. And I said, well, I don't know. You got to do this. I mean, this is funny. It's not going to run, but it's funny.
You didn't think it would last?
None of us thought. You know, in the back of your head, you hope, you cross your fingers. We all went, the audience for this show is me, and I don't watch TV. So who are we playing to?
Right.
And we all thought, there's no way. We'll have a good time, and that'll be the end of it.
And in truth, the critical response still outruns the ratings of the show. The ratings of the show are decent enough, so it's on the air. but it isn't the runaway hit that it is in terms of perception.
It's a strange, our ratings don't seem to reflect our viewership. Everywhere we go, people go, hey, I saw the show, and they're quoting lines. It's like being on Star Trek. We have Trekkies out there. But the numbers come in, they go 37, 38. You know, we're sitting in a sort of rating limbo. But the show seems to have a huge audience, and the critics were kind to us from day one.
Funny as it is, it obviously has a darker side than almost any sitcom you're going to find on mainstream TV, maybe something on cable, but on the network you're not going to find anything that's this consistently dark, and your guy would pretty much sum that up.
Yeah, Jerry always said if we ever spun the George character off the series, would be called This Poor Man.
Insecure, unemployed, prospects bleak.
Yet happy and content in his own way.
Well, it's over. It's definitely over.
She broke up with you?
No, but I can tell she's going to. I can sense it. We had this terrible phone conversation. I was so nervous before I called. I made up this whole list of things to talk about.
Who's on the list?
Let's see. Oh, I'm very good at going in reverse in my car. Why isn't Postum a more popular drink?
Yeah, Postum is underrated.
Anyway, there was all this tension. I asked her if she wanted to go out to dinner, and she said, no, maybe we could get together for lunch. You know what that means?
What's wrong with lunch?
Lunch is fine at the beginning. Then you move on to dinner. You don't go back to lunch. It's like being demoted.
How do people relate to this guy when people see you in the street?
I'll tell you the most disturbing comment is people go, you're me. I'm exactly like George. And I just find that so pathetic. I'm so sorry for these people when I see them. And I go, you know, therapy's a wonderful thing. And I try and convince them. It's an enormous reaction. You know, the shows have always been, or tried to be for the most part, about things that we all go through every day. And can't quite seem to laugh out when we go through them. And we just give them a little twist. And all of a sudden people go, ho, ho, ho. And you know, you love people for doing that. If they make your lot in life seem a little less lotful.
Is there such a word? What's your favorite episode? Can you pinpoint one?
Yeah, not that it was the funniest or the, you know, the most creative. The Chinese restaurant episode that we did was the first episode where we read it at the table, and the company went, ooh, and the network went, I don't know, you've got nothing's going on, it's people waiting for a table, it's one scene, do what you want to do. The network kind of went, do what you want to do. And we shot it in front of the audience, and the audience went nuts, and that was the first time that I looked at the show and went, this is going to be special. We may not hang around for a long time, but it's going to be a really special show.
Excuse me, I was waiting for you.
Where? I didn't see you.
I've been standing here for the last 10 minutes.
I won't be long.
That's not the point. The point is, I was here first.
Well, if you were here first, you'd be holding the phone.
You know, we're living in a society. We're supposed to act in a civilized way. Does she care? No. Does anyone ever display the slightest sensitivity over the problems of a fellow individual? No. No. A resounding no.
Hey, sorry I took so long.
Oh, that's okay, really. Don't worry.
I mean, this character makes such a strong impression. Is it any concern at all that once this is over with, that it follows you? That when you walk on stage, I mean, you're a Tony Award-winning performer. When you walk on stage, people will go, there he is, George.
Yeah, it was a funny thing. Yeah, but you always worry about that. I just did a play out in Los Angeles where I played Harry Truman. And it's a one-man show, and they put, the marquee said, Seinfeld's Jason Alexander as President Harry Truman.
Jason Alexander with Bob Costas in 1992. In a moment, some final thoughts from Jerry Seinfeld on fame, fate, and comedy when Time and Again continues.
They're sworn to keep the president safe. Should they protect his secrets too? The Secret Service. On The Big Show with Keith Olbermann, next on MSNBC. This is not your typical Washington story, and he's not your typical political reporter. Join Keith Olbermann for The White House in Crisis, tonight at 11 Eastern on MSNBC.
Once upon a time, there was a printer that thought it was a copier. It was fast, 32 pages a minute. This printer collated, sorted, and stapled like a copier. Even had a name worthy of a copier. And starting at just $2,900, it made all the other printers very, very sad. That's the story of the Xerox DocuPrint N32, the printer that thinks it's a copier. For your local reseller, call 1-800-34-XEROX.
Give me land, lots of land beneath the starry skies above. Don't fence me in, no, no, no. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. But don't fence me in. I want to ride through the ridge where the west commences. Gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. Can't look at hobble.
Embassy Suites. See what a difference a stay makes.
Fence me in.
Never thought I'd own a Lexus while my kids were still young. We have the quality and the style of a Lexus without any more money. Financing was fantastic.
You're getting a luxury car for the price of other new cars.
Certified pre-owned Lexus vehicles are available with exceptional financing.
Something that I never thought I could afford, but there it is, real life.
This was my first time financing a car, and I really got a good deal.
Owning a Lexus is closer than you think. Only at your Lexus dealer.
Experts say babies who get held a lot grow faster, that the touch of a hand can lower someone's blood pressure, that smiling releases helpful hormones. At Cigna Healthcare, these are all sound, scientific reasons for our particular way of doing things. It's called caring, and that should lower everyone's blood pressure. Cigna, a business of caring.
Now, has this increased celebrity changed some of the things you can take a pot shot at on stage? I mean, after all, you've been the subject of the Barbara Walters interview. Puts you in a different category now.
Really? Where am I?
I'm not exactly sure, but it's...
Tell me another celebrity who's as big as I am now, so I can get an idea of what people think when they see me.
Another celebrity who's as big
Who's like me? If you see me and so-and-so, and you wouldn't know which one to go to. Because we're both at the exact same level.
I don't know, Richard Dawson?
Richard Dawson?
I just took a stab. I don't know.
Where am I? I don't know where I am in the business, I swear to God.
Well, you were on the same show, as I recall it, as Frank and Kathy Lee.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't Clint Eastwood on that same show? And I'm missing one other person.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
A forgettable American actor in Bob's mind.
And you.
And me.
And basically...
Well, that was a fluke. That was a fluke.
It seemed to me like your attitude was, I should probably say yes and do this because she was nice enough to ask.
Right.
And it's not a bad thing to be on this program, but let me see if I can get through it without saying anything that commits me to anything.
Yeah. Which is not unlike most of my conversation, really. But yeah, I was on that show thinking, I don't belong here. I should be on with Bob with a 1-3 rating. That's my wheelhouse.
You know, you don't want a 24 or 25.
No. But you didn't answer my question. I'm serious. Ed, tell me. You know the business. You're out there.
Yeah. It's my life. I study it.
Am I as big as you? I'm bigger than you now.
Oh, you're bigger than me. You're way bigger than me.
You used to be bigger than me.
You know, there was a time, and I can actually pinpoint this.
There was a time when this was a break.
That's right. And now it's a mitzvah.
I'm giving you a break.
Jerry Seinfeld in 1993 showing a keen comic sense of his place on the greasy pole of celebrity status. Jerry may know he's good, but it seems not to go to his head.
I mean, I'm just another guy, but everyone, we're all in the wheel, you know, like a roulette wheel. We're all sitting in our little number, and the wheel goes around, and every once in a while, the ball falls in a hole, you know. And, you know, 6 months from now, it'll fall in somebody else's. And right now, it's in mine. It's unbelievable. I never thought it would happen. I never imagined that anything like this, because, you know, I always worked very my own style, conservative, you know, just, I figured I'd do that my whole life.
That was 1993. For our final word from Jerry Seinfeld, let's go all the way back to 1988, before Seinfeld, the sitcom, made him a star.
This probably isn't fair, but if I said to you, all right, Jerry, we're putting 4 or 5 of your jokes into a time capsule. You make up the list.
That's funny. Well, jokes in a time capsule. That's a joke right there. Oh, I don't know. The thing about time, Bob, is that you save it your whole life, and at the end of your life, there's no extra time saved up. You know, you'll be talking to the guy, you'll be going, there's got to be some extra time. I had a microwave oven, Velcro sneakers, clip-on tie. But there's no time left at the end of life, no matter how you save it. I don't know. I don't think jokes exist in time, like songs, you know. I don't know if my jokes are classic.
Jerry Seinfeld in 1988. 10 years later, no doubt remains that Jerry Seinfeld, along with his cast and crew, has been responsible for a true comedy classic, a television show like no other. And Jerry had the guts, the class, and the sense of timing to walk away while he was still on top, turning down ridiculous sums of money in the process. Often imitated, never duplicated, Seinfeld may have been about nothing, but it was genuinely, consistently funny. And these days, that's something. That's Time and Again for now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jane Pauley, and we're history.